What they do. I am Josh Jones, ESQ, also known as the Dope Black Lawyer. And I just want to welcome you to today's episode of Beats, Rhymes, and Crimes Live. I talked to Ali, he's just jumping off a flight, so he's going to be on with us in a little bit. But while we're getting started, just let us know, rep your city, where you watching from today. Let us know your hometown, whatever it is that you want to rep. Go ahead and rep that. Let us know who your pastor is, and everything like that. We got a crazy show in store for you. It's a lot going on in the world, as always, and we're gonna break down for you the most important stories that affect the culture, whether it's law, hip hop, and how they intersect with each other. So just vibe out with us, So it's gonna be a good show, and let's get into it. So again, so let us know as well where you're watching and whether you're watching live or the replay. If you're watching live, type live, and if you're watching the replay, type replay. So shout out to both. Thank you for everybody who watching live. Thank you for everybody watching the replay. We'd love to have you with us here so that we can hear what you're saying in real time. So I'm not going to hold y'all anymore. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in. And we're actually going to start with a story that we talked about last week. So last week we talked about Captain Damien Pickett, who ended up getting arrested after he got assaulted, essentially, based on how we saw it, by the guys in the Montgomery Riverboat Brawl. Well, there's a pop-up food festival for justice. There is going to be an opportunity for people to go to Montgomery on Sunday, November 26th. And this is being put on by the Hungry Black Man, along with a couple of other of his sponsors, but they're basically raising money for the defense of Captain Damien Pickett, who, as we know, was doing his job when a group of vigilantes refused to listen to his instructions and caused a huge melee to ensue. So if you're able to support, even if you can't show up, you can go check all of the Hungry Black Men's pages. I know he's on YouTube. Facebook seems to be his most prevalent platform. He's on Instagram, and I believe also on Twitter. So if you're interested in supporting Captain Damien Pickett, either live, you can be in Montgomery from 11 to 5 on November 26th, which is about a week and a half from now. Or I'm sure there's a way to make a monetary donation. You can contact StarX, the Hungry Black Man, and he can give you more information. So we'll be sure to also pass that information on as well, so that we can make sure that this brother gets a suitable defense and doesn't get railroaded. So let us know, do you even think that Captain Pickett should have even been charged for this situation? And if you're not sure what the Montgomery Riverboat Brawl is, go ahead and look that up for yourself. It was a time for Black people on the internet. It's kind of died down a little bit, but it's sparking back up because of the fact that he got arrested. So just let us know what you think about Captain Damien Pickett being arrested. So this is another story that kind of, we talked about it before early on in the Beats, Rhymes, and Crimes live episodes, but the Astroworld Festival with Travis Scott, if you remember, there was a stampede and several people died. Hundreds of people claimed to have gotten injured, and there have been a lot of lawsuits filed. So most of the people have named as defendants Travis Scott, obviously. It was his concert. Drake, who was a special guest appearance. Nobody even knew he was going to be there, but he was on stage when all of this was taking place. The promoter, Live Nation, and some of their subsidiary companies, as well as Apple, who was the event's live streamer. So earlier in the week, Drake was deposed. He did a deposition in relation to the civil case, because the Houston, the sheriff department or the prosecutor, the state attorney in Houston, they decided that they were not going to move forward with criminal charges against Travis Scott. So the only thing that's taking place now is hundreds of civil suits were filed against all of the parties that I just named. So a deposition essentially is sworn testimony where it either happens on Zoom, like or traditionally and historically before COVID, it happened where everyone came together in like a conference room or something like that. There would be a court reporter. The person being deposed, who's called the deponent, will give a sworn statement, just like you always see in court. Do you swear to tell the truth? And the attorney for the other party, the attorneys will get a chance to ask questions. So sometimes the depositions are of either the plaintiff or the defendant, and sometimes they're of other people. So no matter what, all of the attorneys will get a chance to ask questions to try to develop their case, find out more information, so they can figure out which way they need to go in order to prove their case, whether it's on the plaintiff side or the defense side. So Drake underwent a couple of hours of deposition. He hasn't stated what happened in the deposition, but he did give a statement when this first happened. He said, "My heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives and for anyone who is suffering. I'll continue to pray for all of them, and I will be of service any way I can. May God bless all of you. May God be with you all." So one of the attorneys who filed the lawsuits against Drake and Travis Scott was an attorney who we know very well, and that is Ben Crump, who has been the dope black lawyer of the day several times. He's probably America's most famous black lawyer at this very moment, due to some of the high profile cases he's been involved in over the last 10 or so years. So he is representing hundreds of the victims as well. And he had a statement from a couple of years ago that we did want to share. So let me set that up for y'all.
This is not just about making sure we get justice for these people who have been severely injured. It is also about making sure that Live Nation and all of the organizers, promoters, and anybody else who had anything to do with the failure here that caused people to lose their children. I mean, families lost their high school children, their college children. People were injured greatly. And nobody should ever die from going to a concert. So this law.
On mute. So yeah, so as I was saying a second ago, the civil suit is more for the situations involving um, the negligence or the inability of providing a safe environment for the patrons and the injuries and harm that was caused to those people. So it's not about a criminal thing. The standard is way higher for criminal, where you have to show that the person is guilty of what you allege. In most states for civil, you only have to show that they're a little bit more responsible than not responsible, and you're able to recover civilly. So we'll keep watching this case. It's a big case in the hip hop community, and I'm sure we'll continue to see Ben Crump because he is a dope black lawyer. All right, so well, before we move on, let us know, do you think that the people who were injured or who lost their lives should be suing Drake. Like Drake was just there to perform. He wasn't a part of the planning. We don't know how much he got paid. He just was doing, he was just a performer. Do you think Drake should be sued for this? Curious to know what y'all think. Let us know in the comments. All right. So this is the story. I heard a little bit about it, and then I didn't hear anything until last week when the verdict came. But the guy that you see is Chad Wheeler. He's a former offensive lineman in the NFL, and he was found guilty of first degree and second degree assault and domestic violence, and was found not guilty of third count of unlawful imprisonment. So he was dating a woman on the screen, Aaliyah Taylor, and she told the police that when she regained consciousness for the second time, that Wheeler expressed surprise that she was still alive. So she suffered fracture humerus and a dislocated elbow. And according to the prosecutor's office, one of the things that would help them to be able to enhance these charges and make sure that he got jail time was the fact that he used force or means that was likely to result in death. So a big 300-pound man on a small little woman, choking her out and doing those things is a type of incident that you should expect death. Even if you don't, you should expect it. And therefore, for the first degree assault charge, he's facing a maximum minimum of 5 years of prison. So he's already in jail right now, waiting to be sentenced on December 14th. And the victim, Aaliyah Taylor, said that she finally has justice. Wheeler was looking for sympathy, saying that he was, I think he said he had either manic depressive or bipolar, but whichever mental illness he says he has. He said he was having an episode. So let us know. Do you think that this man having a mental illness and may possibly have an episode should be a factor in him having a lenient sentence? Let us know in the chat, yes or no. All right. And I don't know if you've seen this lady, but this is Killer Karen confrontation. So I'm just gonna show you a video so you can see for yourself who this lady is. She is she's a dangerous woman out here in the world. All right, so share my screen with you.
Why?
Yeah, don't, you cannot take
What?
You cannot take any pictures.
Look.
Get away!
What are you fucking talking about?
Get away!
Why am I getting away?
Get away!
I'm playing with my son here.
Get away!
You can't.
I told you to leave.
She's attacking me because I'm wearing a scarf.
I told you to leave.
Don't come near me and my son.
Get the fuck out!
I'm not gonna do that. Don't come near me, love.
Don't take
If
pictures
anyone
of me.
else is gonna say anything,
Don't take pictures of me.
I've got a baby.
Get away!
I've got a baby. Huh? Is anyone else gonna say love?
Go away!
You can't tell me what to do.
You and your son, go away.
Why?
Yeah, don't, you cannot take any.
What?
You
I'm
cannot take any pictures.
Look.
Get away!
Don't fucking touch me, love.
Get away!
Why am I getting away?
Get away!
I'm playing with my son here.
So as you can see, this man was in the park in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, playing with his 18-month-old son, and he had on a scarf that is similar to the, or actually he got it from a Palestinian. So it's a Palestinian scarf, and she was accusing him of being a part of Hamas and making threats towards him and his son, saying things like she hoped that they would put his son in an oven, which is wild. So at this time, she was an unidentified woman, but the story kind of went viral. So you may have seen it, but got a couple more clips.
Afternoon. We're hearing from the man at the center of a disturbing hate crime in Fort Greene. His bonding time with his son interrupted when he says a woman assaulted him because she thought he supported Hamas. He caught it all on camera, and News 12's Faith Graham has the story.
And she goes, "You're a terrorist. You and your son are a terrorist. Get away from my son."
This morning, Ashish Prashar revisited Edmonds Playground under Cobb Avenue, the very spot where police say.
So, yep. Now, the NYPD have identified the woman who attacked his 18-month-old son and him. They have issued an arrest warrant, and they're waiting for it to be picked up. And he's thankful for everyone's support. For whatever reason, they have not released the name of the woman, but they have at least said that they've issued an arrest warrant. So this bad deed will not go unpunished. But how should that situation have been handled? What would you have done if you were that gentleman? So the gentleman is actually an Indian man from, I think he grew up in London. And if he didn't grow up in London, he did a lot of work in London. He's like a journalist. He's a very respected person in the community. How would you have handled yourself if someone threw coffee at your 18-month-old? I'm curious to know in the comments. Man, oh man. So this is an older story at this point. And when I say older, I mean November 1st. So this happened down in Houston. All right. And essentially these guys got pulled over for a routine traffic stop. And the authorities said that they were able to see all this meat. And they ended up arresting these guys for stealing. It was like 40 something packs of oxtails, steaks, shrimp, and everything. They're just riding around with it in this whip, and with the intent to sell it. So it's been talked about. I heard Kev on stage talking about it. He made some good points. Like, I mean, this meat wasn't being kept in a freezer. It wasn't being kept in a cooler. Who's going to be buying and eating this meat? I'm curious. So, has anybody ever sold meat? I'm curious. If you ever sold meat, I want you to let us know whether or not you kept it in a cooler, whether or not you rode around with the meat in your car all day. I'm just curious. Let us know how you handle your meat. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring attention to that. Houston, what y'all got going on? And Houston's not like a cold city. They do get cold weather, but it's not like they was riding around in Wisconsin, So we'll just keep it moving and stay in Houston at this time. But we want to wish the families of all these victims, man. It was 6 people killed in a traffic accident, car crash from last Saturday night. So the details are that NFL former first rounder DJ Hayden. Ali, what's good, brother?
What's good, party people?
Yeah, man. So good to have you on. I know you're traveling in the airport.
It's right, but hey, we got to get it. Let's do it, man.
Let's get it, man. Appreciate you. So we're just beginning to talk about this story. Former first round pick DJ Hayden was among 6 people who died in a car crash Houston on Saturday night. Apparently around 2 a.m. an SUV was speeding through an intersection, ran a light, and killed 4 people in the car, plus a homeless man on the street. And I'm not sure who the 6th victim is. I think it may be the driver of the SUV. But we just wanted to wish, condolences and everything to the family of DJ Hayden and the other victims. Obviously, being a first round pick, played college from Houston, played college football at Houston. 3 of the other players, 2 of the other people in the car. No. 3 of the other people in the car were University of Houston players. They said the driver of the car they were in was like a woman who's like also from Houston, very church-going woman, You know what I'm saying? Very,
Just
very, very impactful in the community, and all of their lives are lost. So the driver of the car they were in, her name was Lauren Robinson, and her friends believe that the lights may have been timed incorrectly. But the city of Houston's Public Works Department has said they tested it and did not find any issues. Obviously, that's what they're going to say. So um, I'm sure there's going to be more investigation and opportunities to have those tested by independent people, private engineers and whatnot. But
man, big condolences to his family and all the families that are involved with this. It's always tragic to hear something like this, man. A former, like you said, first round draft pick losing his life in a car accident, man. And I think we forget that, car accidents are very common and kill a lot of people every year, man.
yeah. So Christian Herrera, who was the driver of the SUV, was the sixth person to pass. So yeah, man, it's just important, man. Obviously, 2:00 in the morning, it's a good chance that people are leaving clubs, leaving bars. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
if you're those people who are leaving the bars faded, make sure you don't drive your whip.
Please.
Call an Uber, have a friend. And if you're on the road, stay vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Wait an extra second before you start. You know what I'm saying? Just
please look both ways,
like,
man. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, and most importantly, have insurance too. Like, make sure you have, bodily injury coverage. So if you injure somebody, uninsured motorist coverage. If somebody injures you or kills you, life insurance. Make sure you have your will, your trust. Make sure you have all your stuff in place before you go out here, man, because you never know what's gonna happen. For real,
Right.
real.
100% agreed, man.
So they had a moment of silence for all the victims at the University of Houston basketball game, and we wish the best as well for everybody who's impacted. It seemed like the whole city is, honestly.
Yeah.
So
very unfortunate, man.
So yeah, man.
To say the least.
Say the least. I just want to get your thoughts, man, because you missed it. But you know about this story?
Nope, but it seems like a lot of meat. Pause. That looks crazy.
Yeah, man. So these dudes just got randomly pulled over, and the police were able to see that they had 46 packs of meat in the whip.
And wait. So what state is this in, man? What state are they arresting people for having meat? Like if you didn't get caught at the scene of the crime, huh?
Houston.
It would be Texas. It would be Texas. It would be. Figures.
So if you look though, it's mad oxtails. It's quite a bit of steak. I mean, it had some.
Yo.
I don't want to say they had good meat.
Yo, please don't. I mean, but the funniest thing is, like, for a lot of our people that don't know, in California now we have the zero bail policy, which means that you pay zero amount of bail and you get out of jail scot-free. All you got to do is go to court. So, nobody really cares about, the police don't really care about anything, but to take an oxtail, which used to be like a discarded piece of meat that, Caribbeans and, Black people have made just sought after, to now want to arrest people over oxtail? That's crazy. That's crazy.
But that meat don't look like it's still frozen either.
It don't look like it's frozen, and you in Houston, bro, it's not gonna be fresh for long, Chief. They was on the way to the crib.
Yeah,
they was on the way straight to the crib. Yo, who told? Yo, they stole all the meat and then followed them.
Supposedly it was a random stop. They got stopped for like running a red light.
Nah, bruh. You got to prove that you stole. And that's loose.
Yeah,
that's loose. Wow.
Yeah, literally, it's loose meat. So
it's loose. Wow, that was crazy.
We're gonna keep it moving. These are big. These are three big hip hop trials right now.
Let's get to it.
Keefe D ain't say nothing this week, so that's
of course he didn't.
That's actually a surprise, man. I'm surprised he ain't on no jail phone talking to Art of Dialogue.
I'm happy for him. He might have finally figured it out.
Yeah, nothing major going on right now with YNW Melly either. They're still kind of getting everything ready to start the trial. It hasn't quite started, and the only thing really that happened this week with Young Thug is they've been questioning expert witnesses to see if they are qualified to be expert witnesses, which is normal in a trial. In order to testify as an expert, you have to prove that you actually are an
Qualified.
expert.
And your expertise,
So,
right?
so whoever wants you to be their expert, they'll ask you questions so that you can lay out your qualifications. And the other party, if they object to you or don't want you to testify, they'll try to poke holes in it so that the judge will rule whether or not you could be an expert. So far, they've had one person who I'm aware of who's been qualified to be a gang expert in the case on behalf of the prosecution. But I'm sure that I know there was a second young lady I saw who was being questioned. I'm not sure if she's gotten admitted as an expert yet, but I'm sure that that's going to be ongoing for a little while, and that trial is going to take forever, man. I don't
It's
know.
it's gonna be a long haul with this one, man. I don't see this coming in no type of close anytime soon.
Yeah. But either way it goes, we're going to keep you posted on these 3 big cases until they're final, and even after if there's any appeals. But we're going to move on right now, and we're going to talk about. Does anybody have any questions? If you have questions about any of these 3 cases or anything that we just talked about,
Put them in
your
the
question
chat.
down. Yes, sir. So, you know about this one? This happened in LA.
You know what, man? I did hear about it, but you know me, like it's been a lot going on. So I was just like, we just gonna wait to tap all the way in.
Yeah. So
Let's
this
talk
one,
about it.
So this is old. It's like old. So how like something happens, and then you heard about it, and then
Right.
it's so long, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, and they got to relive it. Right.
Yeah. So way back in 2021, like around this time in 2021, ASAP Rocky was in LA at the W. I think that probably sounds like it was near like Beverly Hills or something like that. Hollywood, exactly, somewhere in that one of them.
It's the W Hollywood on Sunset.
Yep. So he went up there to meet one of the other guys who was one of the original members of the ASAP mob. ASAP Melly.
Right.
I think that's it, Melly.
Yeah.
So they had beef or whatever. Like, sounds like a lot of jealousy and everything transpired over the fact that ASAP Rocky blew up.
Right.
Had babies with Rihanna. You know what I'm saying?
It's always a lot of beef in the ASAP camp. You know what I'm saying? But not real beef. It's mainly internal. They keep it internal, but keep going.
But it was a lot of that. But it was just like people didn't like that. He was talking about don't make me have to talk to you through your publicist or your manager. Like, hit me up directly type stuff.
Right.
And then ASAP Josh passed away, and ASAP Rocky said he was going to take care of getting the body taken back to NY, and he did do that. But ASAP Melly didn't know, so he was talking smack about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You fake this and that and this. And it got to the point where they were like, well, let's meet up, right? And we're gonna talk. So when they got to the W, Melly says that Rocky rushed him and grabbed him by the collar. And they say it's a video where you can see that part. So then it gets broken up, and they go around the corner, and outside of the video camera view, Melly says he got shot by Rocky. All right. So last year they arrested Rocky for that when he came back from I don't remember which island he came back from with Rihanna, but him and Rihanna went somewhere exotic, and when he touched back down at LAX, they arrested him for that, and now they are like in a pretrial hearing phase to even determine if there's enough evidence to move forward. So, they said that Melly was sounding real convincing and cocky on the stand when he was being questioned by the prosecution, but he kind of shriveled up a little bit when Rocky's lawyers were able to ask him questions and kind of try to poke holes in what he was saying. So,
right,
the major part of what they were saying was that, is it true that the day after the arrest, your lawyers hit Rocky's lawyers, civil lawyers, saying we could get rid of all of this with a bag? So more or less, this is a shakedown, right? So that's what they're trying to put out there.
Seems like it. And for the one that ain't got no money, I could see that easily being plausible. Okay.
Yeah. So the pretrial testimony is going to continue next week. We'll keep watching it, but I know a lot of people probably didn't ever know about it or didn't remember it or heard about it but didn't know the details. But that's the quick and dirty what's going on with the ASAP crew.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty tight-lipped. Number one, like to my knowledge, there's no gun. They don't have a gun for this. I mean, it's just a lot of details that are up in the air that we don't have yet. So I don't know. I think it's a little far-fetched for Rocky to just shoot somebody at the W. But we'll see how it pans out, man. We'll see how it pans out. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
So we'll see what happens. But we know that there's precedent in LA. If you're a rapper or R&B singer and you shoot somebody,
you go down.
You could get 10 years for that. But
you could definitely, especially, if you're not from the United States, you know what I'm saying? And the woman that you shot is like 6'7".
Yeah, so
it gets crazy.
Anyway. We're gonna keep it moving, man. This one's going by fast though. I'm not gonna lie. So man, flipping NJ Caesar Pina is suing Tony the closer. Are you kind of familiar with this or not?
I'm not. Let me know what's going on because I'm not. I'm not yet.
So Caesar Pina was like business partners or in some type of way affiliated with DJ Envy.
Okay.
And it's on record that he's a convicted felon. He got out of prison. He knows how to flip real estate. So,
I mean,
not because of the convicted felon, but he is a convicted felon who knows how to. So I just want to put that out there that he's a convicted felon because I think it.
But what is he convicted for though?
I think drugs, but don't quote me.
Okay.
But whatever. He did time. Don't worry about it. All right. So him and Envy were going around getting people to invest in real estate
and flip their houses.
But essentially, he's already been charged by the feds with a Ponzi scheme. Him alone, not Envy. He said that Envy had nothing to do with it on the business side. So I don't know. That's why I said I don't know their arrangement. I don't know if they were partners. I don't know if it was like a celebrity endorsement. I don't know what it was, but they were doing events. They were going around.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like what they were doing online is pretty much making it like, he's giving out the info and people pay for the info and it's almost like a paid for a course. You know what I'm saying? To teach you how to flip houses in the tri-state area. But
on the backside of that, people are giving Caesar Pina $500K,
right,
$300K, and he's supposed to be taking that money, investing it for them, and then bringing them back their money. But the money's not coming back. So when you don't bring the money back and you're using that money to pay somebody else back and you're doing that's a Ponzi scheme, right?
Yeah.
So the feds have charged him with a Ponzi. And Tony the closer has been going in on him and Envy for months.
Yeah, it's been deep. It's been deep with them three.
So Envy already sued Tony the closer in August.
Right.
His suit is active. But now Caesar Pina, it's crazy, has decided he also wanted to bring a suit. All right. So we have the suit, and it's kind of funny. We'll go through it a little bit.
Funny.
So hold on. Let me pull this up real quick.
It's kind of funny.
So all right, here we go. So far, it looks like all these other boring lawsuits that I show you every week, right? It's got a lawyer's name on the top.
Right.
So now it's telling you Caesar Pina and Jennifer Pina, who is his wife, are suing Anthony Robinson, Tony the Closer LLC, I Close Deals LLC, Rona Proof LLC, Real Estate Rico LLC, and Nicole Lionel LLC.
The fact that they have Rona Proof on there scares me. Like, that sounds wild. Like, that's a whole crazy name to have your company called. But all right, let's go.
Hey, man, it started up during the.
Hey, I get it.
So it got caught. It got catchy. So they're bringing this suit through their attorney against all those companies. So in this action, the defendants knowingly and intentionally, individually and collectively, have uttered false, slanderous, defamatory statements about the plaintiffs, which have continue to severely damage plaintiffs. Man, I need somebody to help me read today. Defendants have engaged in this wrongful conduct for the purpose of defaming plaintiffs, interfering with plaintiffs' prospective economic advantage, and interfering with contracts entered by the plaintiffs. As a result of the conduct engaged in by the defendants, collectively and individually, plaintiffs have suffered a loss of reputation, compensatory and punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Furthermore, as a result of the conduct engaged in by defendants, the defendants individually and collectively have been generating sales of their own products, increasing traffic on various social media sites operated by Anthony Robinson and his associates, and for the personal gain of Anthony Robinson and his associates under his control with all these companies. So basically they're saying Tony the Closer's going in like, yo, they running a Ponzi scheme. Don't do no business with them.
Right.
They're gonna take your money.
He been broadcasting big.
But holla at Rona Proof LLC because we close houses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what they're trying to kind of say here.
They've been battling back and forth just like that the whole time.
All right. So this action arises from the defendant's false, slanderous, malicious assertions that the plaintiffs are thieves and scammers, that they stole millions. All right. Defendant has publicly and maliciously spread these false claims on his websites, TonyTheCloser.com and I Close Deals Too, and through his social media presence. So they're saying that his strategy is to drive views and engagement to his own brand by posting and insulting, attacking, or arguing with other public figures. So here we go. Beginning on or about May 25th, 2023, defendant began posting what he deemed a scam run by Pinas and Rashana Casey. That's a typo. Rashawn Casey is DJ Envy, by the way.
Right.
So initially asserting in an IG live post that Pinas had been accused of scamming investors and were only famous because they had been promoted on Mr. Casey's radio show. So they say that at this time they were careful to state that these were allegations and claims by investors who claim to be defrauded by the Pinas, not factual statements, which is important to remember because by saying that it's alleged.
Right, it didn't actually happen.
We don't know.
Until
we're not
proven.
We're not saying you're a scammer. We're saying that it's alleged that you're a scammer because we learned from Tasha K that people will come after you for your coins. All right. So
Facts.
Cardi B coming for that 4 million hard.
Defamation of character is real.
You know what I'm saying? So throughout June 2023, defendant continued to refine his new business model and increase social media success as an enemy of scammers, posting attacks against alleged scammers, and then quickly advertising his own real estate course. So I remember when I saw this post on July 19th, and then again on September 21st, defendant posted on Instagram, Tony the Closer top 10 list of scammers, with number 1 being DJ Envy and Flippin' NJ and Jenny Tips. All right. So
Flippin' NJ.
So this image falsely accuses the plaintiffs of being scammers and is defamatory as it claims that the plaintiffs are not legitimate and they steal money from their investors. Now, we don't know how to keep reading because we've talked about it before.
Right.
Defamation is the publication of a statement that damages somebody's reputation, their ability to earn money, their standing in the community. However, the number one defense to defamation, you remember, Ali?
It's the truth.
It's the truth. The truth will set you free. So if you can show that you're telling the truth, you win. Also, last week, I believe, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think we talked about the Brett Favre joint. And with the Brett Favre joint, the judge said that it was obviously satire, hyperbolic language. So those are two of the ways where when you're kind of traversing the social media lane, how you can kind of get around these defamation claims, okay? So on August 11, 2023, the defendant stated, I'm going to say so, G damn heavy. You say right beside flipping in a Caesar, running the whole full-blown Ponzi scheme. You got Ligas coming to my career talking about you running a criminal organization. There's drugs involved in everything, and I need to shut up. Did you just go get you got the blogs involved? It's hard to understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't translate well when you try to transcribe a video. So but basically they're posting all the things that they're saying Tony the Closer said about
Yeah, man,
Jimmy.
it's a lot because Tony the Closer's been going in for months on these people about how fraudulent they are. You know what I'm saying? Trying to bring up people that he knew that they personally invested with and getting them to come to light. You know, and people have been coming out like in numbers
Quite
to
a few.
speak against them. Quite a few, you know. So
and with information. So even here
and with information.
they're showing that they say Caesar and Jen had a slip and fall in the market and won $425,000 in April and still ain't paid investors back after their insurance finesse. So now they're like saying, "Oh, you're insinuating." This post falsely asserts that the plaintiffs are liars and pushes the defendant's defamatory statement that the plaintiffs are scammers, criminals, and dishonest.
Right.
Then he's got this one. It's a funny post.
Dominican greed, yo.
Obviously, that's not a real show.
It's not.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what a judge is going to rule on this.
Oh man, it's looking good for a defamation suit, but it's not looking good because all these people that's coming out. So I don't know. Like you said, it's real 50-50 right now.
Yeah, the thing about it too is that if somebody sues you, you got to respond. So
right.
Tony the Closer, if you're interested, he's made several videos, hours and hours of videos, and he's keeping it real how he feels. He's not like hiding behind the lawyers.
He's like, keeping it a band.
He's posting the articles and the press releases from
the press release.
Yeah, from the U.S. Department of Justice, right? So it's like the U.S. Department of Justice has alleged that this, and this, and this. So I don't know if some of his wording is going to take it too far, but it just seems like truth may be a great defense for him in this case.
Yeah, it's something true in there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, like he was going hard. He said, "Bro, we got Caesar bank records from Flip to Dow, and boy has negative $6 left. Some of the transactions were Popeye's Chicken, DoorDash, Gucci, and more. Hashtag real estate Rico." So he's just going in,
just going in. He's having a blast with it too, man. You know, and at this point, I believe it started with a personal vendetta. So somebody talking about they had pictures of his wife. It became, a very personal thing between them. So, yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying that they had like brand deals that they lost because of everything that was happening. So they're asking the court for $10 million. All right.
That's crazy.
So, we got 28 pages of this.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I saw a picture of Snoop up in here. Did Caesar pull a fast one on Uncle Snoop? It has been alleged that Caesar may have scammed Uncle Snoop. A tip has come to me that shared that they were told the purpose was for Snoop Dogg SD Investments was formed in, I don't know, man. Grammarly.
Yeah, it's crazy because now we're just getting into actual like Instagram posts, and we all know that nobody's grammatically correct on IG.
Is Caesar trying to hide assets?
Of course he is.
So here you go. In May 2023, Pina was rejected for a business loan because of what they saw on social media. $2.5 million refinance was rejected because the lender saw Tony the Closer's post. $1 million refinance was denied because they saw the social media. Chicago not capitalized. Come on, lawyer.
Come on, lawyer.
Do y'all edit and read the stuff y'all putting out? Hubzu, the second biggest auction house in the U.S., canceled their partnership with plaintiff Pina and DJ Envy. Estimated income $1 million. All the plaintiff's real estate partnerships with lenders have been canceled. Estimated income $300K. Plaintiff Mr. Pina's one-on-one income estimated worth $360K a year has been canceled due to death threats, fear of safety, and overall bookings have decreased. Pina is unable to lend because of the post and information after Google. But I know some of which being Google is going to be U.S. Department of Justice because they got link juice. And there's a lot of stuff out there. It's not just Tony the Closer. Pina faces possible suspension or loss of her real estate license. Mrs. Pina is unable to list or show homes due to death threats via text messages. So this happened in Bergen, New Jersey. And they're saying how come the case can be brought in New Jersey. Count 1, defamation and slander, which we've been talking about. Count 2, tortious interference with prospective business relationships. And then count 3 is tortious interference with business relationships. So they're saying that because of what's going on, either people don't want to do business, start doing business with the Pinas, or they're canceling relationships that have already, been
Supposedly been fostered, right?
because of what's going on, because of the information that they've gotten.
Which makes a lot of sense to me. If you could pull out of a deal and not get screwed over ahead of time, then, good on you.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like, to my knowledge, it's been a couple states that they've been running this racket in. Like, it's been Jersey, certain parts, and definitely throughout the tri-state, North Carolina. We all know it's been a lot. So they've been going up and down the East Coast. And if it's fraudulent, man, it's not gonna look. They're gonna have a whole different conversation on the breakfast show.
Yeah, the best way to in my opinion, is if you're not knowledgeable about the real estate and you want to make some money in the real estate or any type of investment, is obviously ask people who you trust. Maybe they can refer you to like a financial advisor. But if you want to do deals, honestly, with anybody, like I read about an old couple giving somebody $500K. They were like 85 years old. They gave $500K to somebody to invest. They got fleeced at 85. Man. They're not making no more bread.
None. But the thing is, you gave it to them, so it's just like, ooh, it gets hairy, man. It gets dicey.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that you protect your money. Like if you're gonna give money, like let's do it a little bit at a time. As we're gonna have an attorney draw up a contract for how we're gonna do a joint venture together. I'm not just handing you $300,000.
Man, you gotta watch the elders with that, man. Please, because
his presentation is just not even like that. I mean, he's just doesn't appear to be the type of individual who I would trust my money with. You know what I'm saying? Just
big guy.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, plaintiffs are entitled to recover compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million and punitive damages in the amount to be determined by the court from defendants as a result of defendants' interference with their business relationships. So they're trying to get that 10 mil.
It's quiet. They don't even have 10 mil to give. It's crazy. They just want to ruin them. That's all. They just want to put them out of business for good, make sure they can never do anything else again.
Respectfully submitted by Corinne M. Mullen, Esquire, who does not know how to spell attorneys.
That's classic.
Caesar, you should have got a dope black lawyer, my guy.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. Oh, she did spell it right here though.
So she just doesn't like spell check.
So this is fresh off the press. This was filed on November 10th, which I think was, I don't know, it was one day last weekend. People found out about it because Tony the Closer, he put it out there. Like,
yeah, Tony's not waiting for nothing. If it hits the press and it's public, he's running it.
Yeah, so he not scared. You know what I'm saying? He taking it on.
Which is why, I mean, it has to be something there because as soon as these statements become public, man, he's running it and he's not waiting. So he's not afraid of nobody's defamation suit.
Yeah, and he said he don't know. He like, I don't know the law, so I don't know how this is gonna play out.
Right.
But that's why a dope black lawyer wanted to get on here and let y'all know how this is gonna happen. Because you know what I'm saying, Tony hasn't had me on yet, but you know what I'm saying, when he's ready to talk about it, we're ready to talk about it.
Guy, Tony.
Oh yeah, before I forget too, if you're enjoying these videos, please like it, subscribe to it, share it with a friend that you think might like it. Please do those things. If you're watching right now, let us know what you think, man, about the Tony the Closer lawsuit. Do you think that Caesar Pina is going to be successful in that lawsuit against Tony the Closer? Let us know.
With any of our audience, would y'all trust DJ Envy with your money? Let us know.
Yeah.
Straight drop.
Hey, let us know what y'all think. So we are getting towards the end of the show. I know that we've been talking about a lot. So I'm actually gonna go back to the beginning for y'all. And we're just gonna run through it real quick. So appreciate y'all. But we told you last week, Captain Damien Pickett was arrested after the Montgomery riverboat brawl. And we want to make sure that he gets adequate representation for his defense. The Hungry Black Man actually took the lead on this, and he's going to be out there. There's going to be an event from 11 to 5 on November 26th. And they're going to be raising money for Captain Damien Pickett. So support you can go in person, or if you can't, just make a donation to that brother. Just go to the Hungry Black Man's social media, and you can get more details about how to do that.
Big bless up to D Pickett.
As well. So Drake just got deposed in the Astroworld case. He's one of the defendants as well. So remember 2021, they had a melee where the crowd
Right.
went crazy and just many people died. Many more were injured. There's hundreds of lawsuits. So he was just deposed earlier this week. Chad Wheeler was found guilty of assaulting his queen, Aaliyah Taylor, and he was convicted of one account of first-degree assault, which means that it's got a mandatory minimum of 5 years because they were able to show that his conduct was the type of conduct that could have that a reasonable person would have thought could result in the death of an individual. So she was unconscious. She was messed up. So he's going to at least get 5 years. Sentencing will be on December 14th.
Perfect.
This unknown woman is now known by the police. She threw coffee at an 18-month-old baby and a man because she thought he was a part of Hamas.
Jeez, crazy.
On the scarf that he was wearing, he actually was not a part of Hamas, which honestly shouldn't matter. And there's an arrest warrant out right now for arrest. The police know who she is, but we still don't.
They gonna find Carol.
Yeah, two brothers were selling meat out in Houston, and they got arrested. Each of them got a $2,500 bond. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever bought meat off a man in a truck, Cadillac, anything like that? Does this meat look safe to eat? We're curious to know what you think. And if you've never bought meat, would you buy meat? Let us know. Prayers out to the family of DJ Hayden and all the other people who were killed in a car crash in Houston last week. The car that he was in also had 4 other people who died, plus a homeless person, and the driver of the at-fault vehicle also passed away from his injuries. So prayers out to all of them. No major updates this week in the big 3. Only thing we talked about is that the prosecution has been having having their expert witnesses qualified this week. They had one so far who was qualified as a gang expert, and they have more witnesses to qualify. Keefe D.
Melly always looks too happy for me.
Yeah, serious. ASAP Rocky is a part of a pretrial hearing that's going on to determine if he'll be charged for an alleged shooting that took place outside of a Hollywood hotel between him saying that he shot one of his former group mates, ASAP Melly. And then we just got done talking about Tony, the closer, getting sued by Caesar Pina and Jennifer Pina for defamation. And now we're at WTFlorida. So just off seeing this picture alone, I know you probably like, what the Florida is going. So,
that's about right.
So look, we're gonna talk about it. It's not what it looks like, but it kind of is. So there's a roofing company in Cape Coral, Florida, and they are bringing out the big guns for the holidays. All right. I don't want to say the name of the company because I don't want to sway anybody to get a new roof with that company.
Go ahead.
But look, bro, they are giving away a turkey and an AR-6 and an AR-15 to anyone who purchases a new roof with their company. All right. So they say that this is the quote. I'm just going to read the quote. I actually saw this idea. A company actually did it in Alabama. I figured, hey, we're in Florida. This is the most Florida thing you could do. Let's do it.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, I mean, if you need a roof and an AR and a turkey, I guess it makes sense to go ahead and do it all together. But get several quotes. You may pay more than you would if you bought them individually. And you also are going to have to still be able to qualify to buy the gun. So whatever the process is to buy a firearm in Florida, you'll still have to follow that same process.
Isn't it a gift at that point?
Well, nah, it's got to be. You got to, in order to have the gun,
You
got to
purchased the roof. Oh, the background check. Okay, okay.
You
Okay.
can't have felonies. You can't have felonies and own a gun. So, if you don't want the AR-15, you could get $500 off your roof as well. So
That sounds cool. I'll
But
take the turkey too.
I think
Word.
I'd rather sell the AR.
Yeah.
So would any of y'all be interested in this kind of deal? Does this appeal to y'all? A roof turkey AR-15
It
bundle? This
does
has-
not sound bad to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know, man. This has disaster written all over
Written
it.
all over it for sure.
But what the Florida? So you know,
It's typical, man.
yo, man, we at the end. We made it. Nobody was harmed. And
We'll see y'all again, man.
we're gonna do it again. We got social media, we got everything. So if you have a question, if there's anything you want to ask, just ask us privately. So if you have an actual question about something for you personally, ask it privately. If you have a question about something we talked about, you can post it in the comments.
Facts.
Right? And we're gonna be back here next week. If there's a topic that you want to cover, send us those stories. We want to talk about the stuff that y'all really, really are interested in. Before we leave, is there anything that you want to say about the Will Smith situation? Because Jada says she's suing.
Apparently, Will suing too.
Well, I'm just happy that Jada's supporting Will Smith or standing up for him.
I'm tired of Jada standing on Will.
Hey, man. I think he might like it. I don't know. But we'll talk about that if it comes up. Next week, we ran out of time in preparation, but I always forget her name. Akilah and the Bees got a restraining order against her former boyfriend. She said that he was also an abuser. Their moms is going at it in the text. So we're going to talk about it. We just ran out of time. Unfortunately, it didn't make it into the show this week. We may even do like a special little episode just to talk about that. What's Akilah and the Bees name again, bro?
Oh, you would put Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad, Keke.
Word.
So if there's anything y'all want to talk about, let us know. We right on time. And if it's nothing else, we just gonna holler at y'all next time. Peace.
Big bless.